Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League. This is round 4, which marks the halfway point of season 22 here for the Tier 1 drivers. And we come from the legendary strip that is the Las Vegas Street Circuit. It's an interesting circuit, Las Vegas. 17 corners and a massive blag with the DRS down the infamous strip. Makes lots of overtaking opportunities, but also a couple of areas where it's just a little bit tricky, like around the sphere section. And as often with Las Vegas, it's a very dusty top surface, so grip is at a bit of a premium, especially when you get into qualifying and you're looking to lay down as fast a lap as you can possibly get. My name is JBH, and joining alongside me, as always, for Tier 1 commentary is Mikey RK13. Good evening, Mikey. How are yourself?
Yeah, good evening, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, obviously looking forward to a trip to Nevada. Viva Las Vegas, as the king used to say. But no, fairly new track on the circuit. Obviously, open with us about a year, so obviously it'll be his second running. Obviously in real F1 in the next few weeks. But yeah, just waiting for Clarkson, and obviously once Clarkson's in, we can get the ball rolling.
Yeah, Vegas having its third edition this year. It debuted in 2023. It's like a 6.2 mile circuit. If yeah, 6.2 really miles, 6.2 kilometer circuit around Las Vegas. Obviously produced some very good racing in the last couple of years. We've had it, I think, once in IRL so far. Made for some interesting racing, that's for certain. And something that people may not know in F125, just before on the sort of the 90-degree left hand before you go on to as you go onto the strip, if you end up locking up there and just stopping and there's nothing around, apparently you can hear the casino noises. From what I've heard, it's an interesting little Easter egg apparently, that you can hear the sounds of the casino slots going, which is quite interesting.
Indeed.
Iron saying evening, and he's missing being part of IRL or the IRL grid. Racing Mikey and having me commentate on his race as well. We hope you get to come back soon, Iron. It'll be good to have you back if you can come back. And obviously, if you're going to make a few races, come and join as a reserve. Why not join as a reserve? It's always good fun. Speaking of reserves, Mikey, I believe we have one reserve coming in tonight. This is new Brian De Bruce, and we have the long-awaited return of the Tier 1 Master, shall we say, Mercked.
Yeah, obviously, and we've also got another returning one in Lewis. So, obviously, the old gang getting back together, as they say. So,
Yeah, Louis 675 Art, a very well-known name in the IRL universe. Good evening, Ruddo. Simon Rudd in the chat saying Sydney and Owen for the podium, and Keza not be lapped. I think Keza will call that a win if he does that. I'm just trying to remember, Mikey. Louis, is he full-time Mercedes or is he just reserve? If I remember correctly, Merckx is full-time Haas, so he's scoring points for the Haas team. I can't remember whether Louis was full-time for Mercedes.
yeah. So, just for this evening, I've put Lewis obviously in the mix. But in regards to this, sorry. Oh no, he's in. Right. Sorry, 2 seconds.
They were just getting ready to get going for qualifying here, as everyone loads in. 25 lap race after an 18-minute qualifying session to come. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw someone called Brian De Bruce in the in IRL. I thought, has Bruce changed his name all of a sudden to something completely different? But it's good to have the American joining us as a
Yeah.
newcomer.
To be fair, I won't lie. I actually thought it was Lee. Um, so I was like, what's he done now? But no, like you said, it's nice to always see new people come into the you know, into the league and take part. You know, it's quite nice. We've got people from obviously North America now, so continental United States.
I
We've
mean,
also got
it's
obviously
good to
Europe.
have a debut, but I mean, debuting at your home race, it adds a bit of extra
Bit of
pressure just for
pressure.
good measure.
Yeah. Well, so I suppose it'd be quite interesting to see effectively what happens, really. Um,
We prepare for qualifying, and as we know, Las Vegas is not the grippiest circuit. There's a very dusty sort of top surface on the asphalt. Being in Las Vegas, Nevada, obviously a very deserty state. Um, so it's going to be quite interesting through qualifying to see how everyone finds where that grip is, what the car can and can't do. I think we're going to see maybe a couple of spins in qualifying, and the race could be even more interesting as people go for different moves. I also know the RB of ARL very much under the weather tonight. So
well,
if he can score points tonight, I think he'll count that as a good evening's work and early to bed for the man who lives in Abu Dhabi and is about 4 hours ahead of us. So it's like about 12 o'clock for him right now.
I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. Just, but no. Obviously, the good news is it's our busiest Tier 1 grid so far this season. Just 17 drivers taking part this evening. So, but obviously we've done it so like every driver's basically got a team. I think there's one that's on their own, which is obviously Sunboy. But obviously we know about his teammate of Force 2 not being able to make it. Obviously he's due to illness himself. But obviously we wish him a speedy recovery. And
Yeah, Keza, the first man out, followed by Owen and then Sydney. Merckx coming out after that with, I believe, it's a Yellow and the Wolf. It's good to see the Wolf back in action, and we can see what sort of pace he has around here in the Mercedes. But Keza, he's going to be one that I'm gonna say this because I think he'll find it quite funny. He's going to be one that sets the pace and sets the benchmark here in qualifying, as he's the first one out.
yeah, obviously looking forward to quite a few. Obviously for season debuts, shall we say? See how they get on. Obviously, Merck, Lou. Obviously, Jerry Clarkson's back with us this week. Hopefully, they don't have any issues like they did last week. Where they just, there was obviously a starting issue, if I remember correctly, on the grid.
Yeah, I do wonder if the sort of the sprint race sort of bug glitch that reared his head, because it happened in both tiers last week. I wonder if that just didn't help him in that sort of sense as well, because obviously everyone had to sort of reset the game. But we're going to go on board here with Keza. He's going to be the pace setter for this qualifying session as he comes through the final corner, right down towards turn 1, turn 2. Nail the brakes, get it turned in, and then you kind of have a wide apex for 2 as you head down towards 3 and 4, and you sort of try and hug the inside as much as you can to then open up the throttle onto this back straight where the DRS is open for the first time, down towards turn 5. Spot your braking point down here in a sea of DHL. Nail the brakes, get it turned in, use as much as you can without bobbling the car. 6 into 7, 8, 9, the sphere section. This is a horrible section to get your braking point right. Keep it tight, then bring it out to the right hand side, then open up 6. Try and keep 7 open. 7, 8 into 9. That's how many corners are around this circuit. 9 to a slightly tighter apex. 10, absolutely pinned flat. Keep it to the right hand side. And then you want to keep it slightly wide through 11 because you want to have a straight line braking into 12. and now you're going onto the strip, past all the casinos and the hotels. And this is a huge drag strip for the F1 cars. DRS will be open very shortly down the second part of this straight. And there it goes. 212, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 218 miles an hour for the Haas as he hits the brakes for turn 14. 15 is a flick right. He invalidates the lap by, I think, cutting the corner. And that's not going to be ideal for him. Let's see. Okay, we're on board with Owen at the moment. He's actually invalidated as well. Ash Tube getting a healthy dose of tow from his teammate there. He'll absolutely love that. Down towards turn 14. Drop all the way down to second, get it turned in. Okay, you want to slightly cut the corner through 15, 16, because it opens up 16 to make it almost flat. Last corner, turn 17, absolutely flat, but you've got to be take as much track as you want to get away with. 31.7 for Astrid puts him third quickest at the moment. Sydney leading the way on a 1 minute 30.7 with a nearly 1 second gap to Jelle Giesen in second.
Yeah, it wasn't really a bad lap to be fair from Astrid, if I'm honest. Oh wow, Psychic chipper for 1:38, so in 10th off. Obviously it's Psychic's first race with us this evening. Obviously they're also a reserve at the minute, but no. Sort of splitting the hairs between both Bjorn and Sydney. Oh wow, but Sunboy. Impressive little lap there.
Sunboy in that Ferrari, getting a bit of pace behind him. We've got Bjorn de Boer in fourth. Merck starting off a little bit slow. Milo de Boer, it's good to see him back with his brother. As he just goes absolutely dive straight on at turn 1, turn 2. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But he'll get going again. There's Yellow. Who else we got? Owen. Not on a lap. ARL. DRS is open.
Oh, is Kez on a lap or is he?
I think Kez will be coming into the pits. ARL goes through 14, 15, 16 down towards 17. There's a yellow flag for I think that was a slow moving McLaren coming into the pit. ARL crosses the lines, a 32.1 at the moment. So 10th place impressive. For now.
Mm-hmm. So who's on next?
I think most people know.
We've got our American debutant. Come up towards the line, see what they can do.
He's going to be starting a lap, so let's go on board then with Brian. Mike, do you want to talk us through a lap in your own eyes?
Oh, obviously going to turn 1, we'll be at least third gear. We'll drop it, keep it third, hold the right hand side as much as you can. Just try and open up, hit the DRS. As we said, we've got to walk off those DHL boards. Pick your braking zone, going into the fourth corner, you want to be in third. If you open it up a bit, you want to blend over to the right, because obviously you're going for a hard 90 left here, and then back to the right. Let's keep it going from, let's say go second there, get the car turned in. Obviously this we want to sort of pin it as such. You can hang on the left hand side for the time being, or the right, depends how you want to feel, but obviously this what you need to stick to the right because you want that turn to the left onto the Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm not sure of the actual name, but we'll go with that. Hammer it down the straight, pretty much limiting it, obviously hitting the throttle so as much as it'll go. DRS. And now the interesting part is to see how big the conies are on the drivers of when they brake at last minute or safe. But no, it's got up perfect. Hang to the right. Let us see how he performs.
Of course, the line from Brian de Bruce, he goes 14th quickest, 1:33.0.
That's pretty impressive lap to start, to be fair.
It's not a bad lap, as it almost like a bank lap. I think that's the key thing really with these qualifying decisions. Getting round and getting a banker lap in.
But we've got Clarkson coming towards the line, sorry, Jord. And he's done a 132, so he's obviously bumped himself a bit, up about second and a half, I think that was. So, let's see who's next to come through.
Now we're going to have Sydney, who's on an outlap at the moment. Merck is not on a lap. Keza not on a lap. Who else you've got? There's Ash Tube. ARL, I think he's on a lap as he comes into the final set of corners. Battery on towards the line for ARL. Can he improve on that 32-1? The ill-stricken man from who lives in Abu Dhabi. It is 7th place, so 31.5 for ARL. So it's good pace here from the RB. As Merck's currently in the pits waiting for his teammate to be wheeled back in so he can get that car sorted. Louis, a nice returning name to IRL. He's on the end of his latest attempt. I'm going to suggest he's probably already burnt one set of tyres on an invalidation. But the Mercedes to the front line, and it's a 32-1 for Louis for now. So, but again, now that he's got that lap time, he's going to be able to really push on his next attempt because he won't have the possibility of not setting at least a time throughout this lap, throughout the session. Siddendo, nearly 3/10 up after 2 sectors as he comes down to the start-finish line. What is he going to achieve? If he's already 3/10 up, it's going to be not actually all that much more improvement. 0.03, he lost time in that section. And that seems to be a bit of a thing for some of the drivers tonight. He's not the first person that we've seen finish a lap and then go straight on at turn 1.
Yeah, I think if you're just carrying too much speed, if I'm honest, sometimes you don't want to deck the brakes because it'll just throw the back end out. But no, it was just interesting one to say the least. So, but obviously they won't be able to do stuff like that in the actual race. So, but no, I'm looking forward to tonight. See what we get. So.
Race Tech coming up to the final set of corners in the final sector. The McLaren was up on his time. He's currently sat in third at 31.145, so he's going well in that McLaren. Does improve to second place, 30.735, right on the tail of Sydney. Meanwhile, Psychic Chip in third place for now.
Just on the back, well, the main straight, shall we say.
Down the strip he goes. The other to look out for is Yella. I think he's just put himself into 4th at 31.0. Good effort by him. Meanwhile, Psychic Chip up to about 215 miles an hour.
Yeah, back end just stepped out going into the final chicane there. Obviously kept it. Not sure if he's probably lost time there, I'm not sure. Yeah.
There's the line. He does go quicker though to Psychic Chip, and he's only 0.032 away from Sydney. Meanwhile, the steps. I don't think he's on a lap. No, looking at his battery usage, he is not on a lap at the moment. So someone who should be on a lap though is this man, Owen, coming into the final set of corners now down towards the timing line, and Owen, battery depleted. He's got no more battery. He's literally used everything he's got. It's a 31.1 to put himself in 6th place, and this is looking really good time on times. I mean, 0.4 of a second covering the top 6 at the moment, and we probably think that some of those behind, like Mert, Jeremy Clarkson, Milo, Bjorn, Probably all got a little bit more pace to give as Beyond a Bower on either a cool down or an in lap.
To be fair, the majority of the grid could, you know what I mean, anything could materialise from this bunch of drivers, as we've seen over the season and the past few seasons for those who've returned. Obviously, a Wolf's a big one. Obviously, you can never not say he's going to find something out somewhere and do a job. Obviously, Clarkson did a really good job in the sprint qualifying last week. And to be honest, gave Sydney and Yelly a run for the money for most of that sprint race, if I'm honest, last week. So, yeah, it's amazing, to be fair, like the amounts of drivers that we've got in the league that it doesn't matter if they're in a lower tier or a high, but it's one of them, some people are better at other tracks than others, so
Yeah, natural first stage. Brian de Bruce takes a lot of curb into turn 14. Looking to get the car rotated using that inside curb.
Just holding the left hand side.
Just go quicker.
1:32, so that drops it to 2.1 seconds from Sydney to Brian. Oh, that's pretty good, actually, to be fair. You just to have just let's say we got 2 seconds across the board. So no, who else is on the line?
No one really. Ashtube's on an invalidation. Kez has just started one.
I think he's just tapped the wall. I don't think he's got any damage though. I didn't see anything come off the car. Got a yellow flag.
Could be someone letting someone through mine because of the slowing down effect.
I think it was an Aston Martin. It was on the second corner, you see. I'm not sure though. So obviously do correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see what else we've got on.
Because they're still running, he'll be the next person to set a lap time as he comes up towards the strip. The Haas has a little bit of a second bite of the cherry into turn 12. 13 is a little kink down the strip. We are preparing ourselves for these final sets of runs. Just a minute 53 left on the clock. Keza down into 14, 15, 16.
It's a lot better this time from Kaz.
He's going well as the Haas driver, but can he get to the line in a quicker time than he's already got there before? Yes, he can, and he puts himself up to 14th ahead of Louis and Jeremy Clarkson, who is on a lap himself, as is Sydney. Sydney's invalidated this lap, but if he's got enough fuel and he can coax that car back around, he might be able to just get himself one more attempt right at the end of this session. Yelagisen on a lap as well as he comes through sector 2. Trying to keep an eye on everyone who is on a lap.
So yeah, Yel's literally on the main straight now as we speak.
He is up on his time by quarter of a second at the moment, so this will see him near Sydney. I'm trying to work out where is Jeremy. Jeremy at the other end of the strip. He's 8/10 quicker at present. He's going to have to find a little bit more. Oh, and he's invalidated. Jeremy has invalidated through the final set of corners before you head down towards the start-finish line. That's a big shame for him, and a lot of time that he's lost in this qualifying session, and he's going to have his work cut out when we head into the race as Yelagisen comes into the final stretch for his final lap. It's a 30.79. This is a man who says, I'm going to be miles off the pace, I've had no practice. Stuffs it in provisional pole for now.
Obviously nice little toe from his teammate down the main straight then. Just to give him that extra mile or 2 hour, obviously more, but obviously did the difference. But is that 1,000th of a second separates the Red Bulls.
Louis coming down to the start line.
But I think Paul's lost it.
I think Paul invalidated his lap, so maybe trying to get out of the way of people. But Louis puts himself up into 13th place for now. 31.729. We've got Milo de Boer on a lap coming to the line. We've got a Alpine behind him. I think that's Psychic with the steps. Milo goes 10th quickest. Psychic chip does improve. Yeah, I think he improved.
No, I don't think he did. No, unfortunately.
A lot.
But we've got the steps coming obviously on the back straight now.
Sunboy goes 6th place in the Ferrari. The steps in the Alpine. What can he achieve? Provisional pole now, 36.49. Time starting to come in. Merckx puts himself into 9th place. We've got the Wolf coming through. He doesn't improve. Trying to get that's a Williams. Jeremy Clarkson got an extra lap in just at the death. And he's put himself up into 11th place. So a little bit less work.
What can he do? Owen's down to up to 6.
Good stuff from Owen. Ashtube sends himself up into 6th place. Who else we got? Poristic on an invalidation. Sydney on an in-lap. So it is the Alpine of the steps who takes pole position here at Las Vegas. A phenomenal time at the end of the session. And it must be so noted, Yellow Geeson right at the end as well, pipping his teammate by just 1,000th of a second to claim the 2nd position on that front row.
Could we have a repeat of Bahrain? Obviously, very tight fight between them, obviously near the end of that race. But no, from the looks of it, from the time, obviously qualifying, I know it's not the same thing as a race, but it's pretty close together, to be fair. It could be quite an interesting race, Jordan.
It's going to be a very interesting race. Obviously, the field pretty tight in this. I mean, 2.2 seconds covering the entire field. And we've got a lot of names sort of in that mid-pack of Merckx, Jeremy Clarkson. Both the de Boers lower than probably expected. I mean, Bjorn definitely lower than expected compared to recent form. But yeah, it's going to make for some interesting stuff. But your grid for the Las Vegas Grand Prix is the steps, and Yellow Geeson take the front row. Sydney and Paul Racetech on row 2. Row 3 is Psychic Chip and Ashtube. Row 4 is Owen and Sunboy. Row 5, Merckx and Bjorn de Boer. Row 6 is ARL and Jeremy Clarkson. Row 7, Milo de Boer and Louis. Row 8 is the Wolf and Keza, with Brian de Bruce on the 17th place of the grid, and on his lonesome, unfortunately, on the 9th row of this grid. But 17 runners coming into this race. Let's hope for 17 runners at the end of the race.
We can always hope. Obviously, just give the drivers a few minutes to prepare setups, strategies, anything they need to do. And then, yeah.
ARL saying, what a disaster in Sector 3, traffic jam, tyres like ice. Just the main thing, mate, don't do a Mark Webber. We don't need that tonight. Keza here just for the crack and a bit of fun. Probably from the chance you never know Keza, because I mean it is a street circuit. Anything happens on a street circuit. And Yellow Geeson saying that it's unexpected and 1,000th lol. Yeah, it's as long as Harold doesn't do a Mark Webber, we'll all be good.
Why you've got to jinx people?
I mean, at least he's not wearing a helmet.
Fair enough. That's alright. I can get behind that. But no. Right, just obviously everyone knows just another 2 minutes just to get them sure everything's prepared, because I know some people can be a bit, but no, looking forward to it. Nice bit of racing under the night sky, under the lights of Las Vegas. All you need is your Elvis impersonators to be running along the strip. But
we await the start of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and it must be said, with the DRS zones the way they are, staying in that DRS is crucial. I mean, could we see almost like a forced one stop here tonight? Because you could potentially go for two and have more grip, but ultimately, and we sort of a little bit at Austria to a degree, having DRS is very, very important around here. It's worth a lot of time, especially down the strip.
It depends what do you sacrifice though, aerodynamically. Why do you go low downforce and obviously go for just pace on the straights mainly with Vegas, or just sort of go more like obviously higher downforce for going through the second sector? It's a bit of an interesting one, to be brightly honest, but I suppose it's something you're gonna have to find out tomorrow evening.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out tonight. But yeah, I think the key element here is tyre strategy. I mean, how would you go about the tyres? I mean, we know because obviously this race gets sort of done in sort of early hour or like late hours, early hours of a morning, like night and morning. So the track temperature. I mean, people seem to forget with Las Vegas. Yes, it's a very, very hot place in the daytime, but when it comes night, the desert is extremely cold, especially at this time of year. I mean, they are still Northern Hemisphere, so at this time of year, when the race is run, it is very cold at night, and the tyres will not warm up very well.
Obviously, the one thing you don't want, especially around it, is to lose the temperature in those tyres. Obviously, like you said, during the night, so it's could be an interesting. Hold on, sorry, just 70 odd lights. But no, formation lap around the strip. Obviously, on board we've got our possible race strategies of a one stop or a two stop. I believe drivers will probably go for more of a two stop strategy, two mediums and a hard. Or the other one is obviously the obvious one of a medium and a hard. So,
looking at tyres, we have a slightly split grid. Out of the 17, we have 6 runners on the hard compound tyre. That is Mert, Bjorn, ARL, Jeremy Clarkson, Milo, and Brian DeBruce. The rest of the field all on the medium tyre. So 11 runners on the mediums. And let's see how the strategies play out. 25 laps here of this Las Vegas street circuit to come. And by the shouting, 150 kilometers of racing, just over.
I think obviously the reason the likes of Meg, Bjorn, or both the Burl brothers, Clarkson, obviously Brian and ARL, you imagine probably go for the harder tyre in a way of hoping there's not a safety car, and you can obviously make them go the distance. But the issue is if you get that safety car, what effect is it? Everyone's going to pile on the pits. Is it going to go to a two stop or what? So,
well, I mean, potentially, if you've got 2 sets of mediums available, you might end up just ditching them and go for 2 stop and go 2 sets of mediums at the end. But we shall find out as everyone comes to the grid for the formation. Keza and Brian at the back, just getting into position now. And here we go then. We have the 5 red lights. We are racing here in Las Vegas for the 4th round of Tier 1 in Invictus Racing League, and it's a pretty even getaway at the front. It's a little bit of movement in the back. Psychic Chip gets up into 4th. The 2 Red Bulls have a bit of contact as they come through turn 1, turn 2, through 3 and 4. Paul Racetech taking advantage there. He gets back past Psychic Chip and past Yellow Geeson after the Red Bulls have a little bit of a kerfuffle through that first corner. Paul Racetech on the outside coming down towards turn 5 now. The McLaren, can he hang around there? Not advisable, and he just about drops behind, and no damage caused as they come through the sphere section. Got a yellow flag, that's Brian the Bruce. I think he's just outbraked himself into turn 5. He'll reverse and get going again. We have Owen fighting with Ashtube as they come out of the sphere section of turn 9. Up towards 10, 11 and into 12. They come and sweep us. The steps has got away because of that early madness in that sort of front area of the pack. Owen keeping Ashtube just about behind as they head onto the strip for the first time. Everyone getting away cleanly. Obviously, unfortunately, Brian a little bit further behind the pack after his little mistake. But yeah, the steps has made a getaway. 1.8 to the good against Sydney.
Sorry, just have a look at Brian's car. He has got damage to the front right from the looks of it on his end plate. So, the question is, does he keep going as it is now? Is it okay to continue, or is he going to have to come back in brand new wing? And
the McLaren of Owen into the wall at turn 16. That was a hefty hit. I'm trying to wonder, has he still got his end plate? Yes, he does somehow.
Yeah.
That was a hefty hit at 16. He's got away with that one. You won't want to do that too often because that will cause pretty major damage if he's not careful.
I don't think that's carbon fibre, mate. I think that's steel. So
he's going pretty fast if that's steel because that car weighs more than a bathtub.
Well, we're out in America and you've heard the story about the old NASCAR cheats, so you never know.
Lap 2 of 25 we go. And the grid piling into the sphere section. It's getting tight between Paul Racetech and Yella. The steps.
Distance. No, sorry about with the steps, but 1.7 seconds to Sydney.
That was up to 1.8 on lap 1. And it was all because the two Red Bulls had a little coming together through 1 and 2 off the start. Which really hampered them through that first sector. Question now is Sydney going to start catching up to the steps? Is Sydney running slightly less wing as Owen, even before the DRS zone, gets past Psychic Chip? And is he being clever to keep the DRS? No, he's not quite, so he's going to be under threat.
What? Ashtube going on the right hand side. Oh, it's a bit ballsy. Get together. Lovely. Side by side.
Jeremy Clarkson, I think, getting past Sunboy, taking a lot of curb as Sunboy gets all out of shape coming out of 16. And that's an invitation Bjorn will not refute.
But obviously both Jeremy and Bjorn making the way
Here
up
comes
the
Merckx
order
as
now.
well on Sunboy to the inside of turn 1.
He's defending
just about gets there and just about clean between the two. But Merck now up into 10th place. The former Tier 1 champion trying to chase after the reigning Tier 1 champion at the moment as Ashtube gets past Owen.
It's sort of the old guard, isn't it? When you look at it, it's Lizzie Clarkson, who was a few seasons ago, Bjorn, obviously winner last season, as well as Merck, obviously multiple winner. So yeah, it's interesting to see how these three work out, sort of what's going to happen.
Biggest problem now
went together through the field.
Biggest problem now for Ashtube here. He's running 5th, but he's 1.4 away from Paul Racetech, which means he's not got any DRS. So either him and Owen need to start working together a little bit to try and catch back up to this pack, or they're going to be sort of out of this fight for the top 4 as Paul Racetech all over the back of Yellow Geeson. Onto the strip they go. He's going to go out. Oh, that was close as they head down towards the strip, nearly banging wheels. Both of them with DRS open. Paul Racetech will claim that position and will close in now on Sydney. The McLaren
going to go for a move. Sorry, no, he's not. Too far back.
The McLaren looking very racy at this stage as Owen has Psychic Chip all over the back of him through 14, 15, 16, and Psychic Chip has got a good run out of 16, should have the inside for the final corner. Oh my word, that's an interesting line. Thought he was going to turn in a little bit more than that, but Owen nearly had a look back down the inside of turn 1.
Yeah, would have been an early dart from the looks of it for Owen if that had gone wrong. But obviously, as it stands, we're until lap 4, and we have all of our drivers. So
Beyond the Boa getting past Jeremy Clarkson up into turn 5 with the aid of DRS. They're still side by side, a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact through 5, and somehow they get away more cleanly, and Jeremy Clarkson loses that position. He's now got Mercked all over his tail as they head into the sphere section. Psychic Chip, the first one to register a time penalty for track limits.
I think Owen's having issues with those tyres. He's just back end decided to step out a little bit on that turn. As Mikey said, he's really got to be careful now. Obviously both Bjorn and Jeremy, as well as Merck, right behind him. So they do whatever he can to sort of get up the road now.
Down the trip for the 4th time, and Sydney has been overtaken by Poor Race Tech, but I think Poor Race Tech done it quite early because Sydney's had the DRS back and Sydney back up into 2nd place, but they have lost a bit of time to the steps. That gap now back up to 1.6 seconds. Yella does have Ashtube right on his tail. Well, Merckx getting past Jeremy Clarkson after 16. Down through 17, the final corner. Jeremy Clarkson going to look to maybe retaliate here. Beyond the bow, looking to the inside of Owen. Gets there, he's a little bit behind, but Owen gives him more fair racing route. Round the outside of turns 3 and 4. Beautiful stuff from Beyond the Bower. And that's something you can do around it. You can use the outside line to overtake. Ooh, Owen almost does a Hamilton. Nearly takes his front wing off as they go side by side through 5.
It is unreal how close this is.
6 and 7, and Bjorn will claim that position. Merck now, the next one in line to have a go at this McLaren. I don't know whether the McLaren's struggling or slow or anything like that. I just wonder if Owen just keeps getting caught at the wrong times. And obviously you got the likes of sort of Merck and Bjorn and Jeremy. We know just how quick they are, and I think it's fair to say that in a reality perspective, and from what everyone was expecting, they slightly underperformed in qualifying, and I think that's now starting to show. Ashtube gets past the bigger sister team, and Owen gets back past Beyond the Boa for good measure.
Obviously both got there, and he is not giving up. Owen a certain dominance going into this corner here. Very close.
Got a yellow flag.
I think that's
very, very quick yellow flag at that 14, 15, 16 section. Very, very brief. So whatever happened cleared up pretty quickly. Oh, and Beyond the Bower sends one back down the inside. Owen looking for a switchback. Gets the switchback. Gets all out of shape.
But keeps the back end. Just gets it back in line. Lovely.
The worst part about... Oh my word, I think Merck almost looked to the outside of Owen through there. The worst part about that was for Merckx. I mean, Merckx went to go round Owen, but obviously because Owen was so sideways, I don't think Merckx fully trusted where that car was going to end up. So he decided to actually back out of anything that was going to happen.
Obviously, play it safe. There's still like obviously 20 laps to go. Obviously, no need to be anything over the top this early in the race.
Tell you one thing though. You can see a very clear, distinctive gap between the top 3 and pretty much the rest of the pack. Which is being headed up by Ashtube at the moment. He's going to be under real threat from Psychic Chip as they head down towards... I think I realised who the yellow flag was for.
Yellow Geeson.
Yellow Geeson down to 12th. Meanwhile, Psychic Chip gets past Ashtube. Owen and Merck going side by side.
With Clarkson jumping in as well.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of weaving going around to the front as everyone tries to get position. And Merckx stays in 8th place. It's Jeremy Clarkson in 9th. So they head out of this little complex of corners. Psychic Chip all over the back of Ashtube as we head down towards 17. Beyond the Bow. Look, oh my word, Beyond the Bow almost going towards the wall to get the space required to make a move into turn 1. Is he quite going to get it? Oh, a bit of contact. Bjorn getting all out of shape, just about hangs on to it. This is some very tight racing from everyone in the pack.
Obviously Bjorn, compared to Sydney and Paul Race.
The Wolf has an instant through 3 and 4. He's now down to 60. Oh, Merckx. What's happened to Merckx? Merck's gone deep. Merck's gone deep into 5.
I don't think he's got damage though, Jordan.
Yes, he's got the right end plate's gone.
Oh wow.
So I'm not sure what happened to the Haas, but yeah, Merck's all the way back down to 15th after making some great moves. I do wonder, Beyond the Boer also down to 12th place. No damage on the car, but he's lost a lot of positions. Wonder if something happened between those two drivers going down towards turn 5. And Merck coming the worse off out of the two. Meanwhile, Paul Racetech and Sydney going side by side. They've also closed in here on the steps. They are now within DRS range of that Alpine as we head through this complex course for the 7th time. Heading on to lap number 8. We haven't really seen much of the front for the last few laps, just purely because they've been sort of running in formation, but now it's starting to get very close for the lead of this race, and Sydney didn't get a good run out of 16 there. He lost 7/10 to Paul Racetech down there.
Wow. It is a bit of a surprise, but could we have a repeat of last season, Jordan? This is the interest with Sydney. Unfortunately, second half of the season just didn't go well. Yeah,
I think the difference here is that he's still in that podium positions right now, and that's enough. You know, the Paul Race, you know, the likes of Beyond the Bowie, he's down in 11th right now. Paul Racetech, the next biggest trouble was Paul Racetech gets it all crossed up going into 7 as he came down the gearbox.
Mediums be given up.
Don't think he'll be far off before they're going to want to change him as Beyond the Bower goes side by side with Yellow Geeson. Yellow Geeson has to take to the runoff, and you get the sense that maybe the game may tell Yellow to give that place up that it has. I don't think Yellow's going to be too happy about that. He'll feel that he's been forced off the circuit, but the game has decided he gained that advantage off circuit, and he has to give back that place.
Yeah, it's quite a close-knit. Oh, there you go. Milo just got moving on some boy on the main straight there. Obviously with Ashley also doing Psychic Chip as well.
Some boy looking to go to retain back, but doesn't happen. Yella gets back past Beyond the Barrel. See that DRS helping him get that position back. Front 3 as they are, the steps for Racetech Sydney. And you just start to see these little pockets of battles going on at the moment as Beyond the Bower is Yellow Geeson's a bit wise to Beyond the Bower's throw up the inside of turn 1. Does defend it, but he goes deep, and Beyond the Bower goes back up into the top 10 here. Keza into the pits, the first pit stop of the night, if I am not mistaken.
New wing, and that is hard, Stuart. So could be. I imagine he's going to go for the one-stop option and just hope for the best.
Merck has been in as well. Sorry, so he's not the first to stop. Merck has been in to change that front wing, so obviously that's giving you a lot of grief. But Merck out on the medium tyres. That will mean now for Merck, because he started on the hards, he'll be on a 2-stop strategy, but now going medium, or medium back to the hards, and he'll have a bit of a tyre delta now to most of the grid. Jamie Clarkson has made his way onto the back of Psychic Chip.
Obviously, decent drive so far from Clarkson. As you imagine, Hammond and May won't be too happy with that, but you know, colleagues and all that. But no, Ashu defending, it's the inside, it's coming to the outside. Ooh, Clarkson just saved. Oh wow.
I think I just saw an end plate come off of the Alpine. It was Psychic Chip has lost an end plate, and here comes Jeremy Clarkson. Look to the one way, look the other way, look to the inside of turn. Oh, and Psychic Chip picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. That's not going to help you.
Can he get the drive? Yes, he can. Hold on, I imagine we get the RS here.
And a whole host of pits as well. Sydney, Sunboy, Psychic Chip, Yella's in. So Red Bull double stacking on this one, but obviously big enough gap to do it. And the Wolf also into the pits.
To be fair, they only did a one-stop in Austria, if I remember correctly, but that was a lot later on in the race for the Red Bulls.
Yeah, and tyre wear a little bit different in Austria. It's a different style of wear almost. compared to here. But just as a note, Sydney 18.5 behind the lead of the steps. It's not a very big pit lane round here in Las Vegas. Not just because it's not a very long one, but obviously you sort of corner cut turn 1 and 2 as you come out. So
it's not optimal, is what you could say.
No, it's just not a long pit lane compared to others on street circuits. As Paul Racetech now goes to the lead of this race.
He's put 6 temps already. Oh, Paul's coming in.
Both of them coming in. I think this is in reaction to Sydney. I think the undercut round here is massive.
So provisional leader is Jeremy Clarkson. It's come from the back of the grid as well. Not near the back.
Just having a look at Sydney though, because I'm interested to see where does Sydney come out in relation to Paul Racetech and the steps, and he's in front of the pair of them. He's made the undercut work, Sydney. He's got ahead of them. No, it's not just. It's probably a good second he's managed to get on them there. So the undercut working in favour of Sydney. Yeah, 1.2 back to Paul Racetech.
Obviously Owen has gone in as well. Astu. Let's see who else has gone in. It's been obviously the majority of the grid gone in, to be fair. So.
Well, the only runners yet to pit so far are the top 4: Jeremy Clarkson, Milo de Boer, Bjorn de Boer, and ARL.
Co-commentator.
Sydney. I'm going to get straight past ARL and not lose any time to the sister team.
Who's going to fight it? Is he?
Oh, that was a bit tight through there. ARL just about having to get out of it. As
he's got DRS though, so quite interesting.
He's also got Paul Racetech behind. You kind of almost sense a little bit for Sydney whether he may
have been, go on the left.
He may have been better off actually doing it down this DRS straight, because he's now been overtaken by ARL, and Paul Racetech and the steps are now caught back up to the back of him. So any advantage that his undercut had, it has now disappeared.
Lost in that. Question is Sydney gonna make a dart at the inside anytime soon, or is the sister team gonna make it difficult as possible for Red Bull? So looks like 1:33.8 is our new fastest lap for the race so far.
Also worth noting, the Wolf has a 10-second penalty for speeding the pit lane as well.
Oh, the Steps has just done a double overtake going into turn 3. Wow, okay.
Yeah, nice little move from the Steps in turn 5. As you go through this first section, that's important that for the Steps to stay with Sydney here. Racetech, he's going to look to go past early. I think that's a mistake. We've seen that before with Sydney, because Paul Racetech's not going to have DRS unless he's got a mega amount of battery to use coming out with his corner, because the detection is just after the kink onto the strip, and the answer is definitely no. So here a chance to get back that position back, but here comes the Steps. We know how powerful this DRS is down the strip towards turn 14. To the outside goes the Alpine, in front goes the Alpine. Paul Racetech successfully defends from Sydney, but now he's 2.1 behind. Defend from ARL, but he's now 2 seconds behind Sydney. So it's costing him time, this, and this is what I mean by it's very important to stay in DRS ranges. ARL has a little look, but decides it's not quite worth it yet. And Bjorn de Boer now has an Alpine up his exhaust.
Obviously, if I remember correctly, this will be the highest scoring if it was to end now for the ball. But it's not been the easiest of seasons for them as rated champions. Obviously, switching car, but
it also hasn't helped. Milo's unfortunately missed a couple of rounds as well. Hasn't helped the Aston Martin cause, but
they cracked on.
that is the weight of life, to that sense.
It's Sydney obviously now catching Bjorn. So
The problem is, this time Sydney staying behind Bjorn. I was going to use the DRS, but the Steps has a DRS on Milo.
obviously Paul's literally nowhere near this at the minute, unfortunately. It's at 1.7 seconds. Obviously now, just losing time behind them because of the DRS.
Sydney getting easily past Bjorn above, but the Steps wasn't close enough to get past Milo, so Milo could do a favour for Sydney here. Owen gets past Ash Tube, and he's going to do a move on Sunboy as well, down into 14. Oh, bit of collision. Collision between Owen and Sunboy. They just about get away with it. The Steps is now through on Milo de Boer in the meantime.
But has he done this too early? Let's give Milo the DRS.
Look at the grip though. That grip difference between the Alpine and the Aston Martin, absolutely huge.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, that's what 10 lap fresher tyres does for you. Keza unfortunately in the pits and retired. Psychic chip on the back of Ash Tube. Can't quite find anything there. Big shame that for Keza. 13 laps completed for the Haas. Sydney gets past Milo de Boer, but once again he's done it through this 10-11 sweepers, and he doesn't have DRS to the Steps. Milo gets a really bad exit out of 12, lost the rear end through it, and this means Sydney is going to be just about safe there.
Steps is making the move on Jeremy Clarkson. We have our new leader of the race.
It was always going to come this because of the tyre delta. Oh, Jeremy Clarkson. Not only did he pick up 3 seconds, but he also clips the wall for his trouble.
Is he going to keep going though? Yeah, he is.
There's no visible damage on that front wing, so if there is any damage, it isn't going to be anything major. Meanwhile, Sydney now all over the back of the Williams, and you like to think with a bit of extra battery power, Sydney may look for this one. No, Jeremy Clarkson's going to start pulling away actually from the Red Bull, so Sydney going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Obviously, he's not got the DRS now. See, the Steps has put his foot down on the old going, gone. So.
Nice move from Owen with the use of DRS into 5. Poor race tech. Sydney once again. Here we go again. So he passes him through before 10 and 12. Just get a sense if Jeremy can get a good enough run, good enough traction out of turn 12 here. Looks like he does get okay traction, does Jeremy. He is within. I think he is within range here.
He is half a second. Yep, and here we go. Got the DRS. Question is, can he catch him before the end of the straight? I think he's going to do it.
I think Jeremy has done a smart thing there as Paul Racetech gets past Milo. I think Jeremy's done something that's really clever and really subtle. I think he's deliberately made sure that he wasn't going to overtake Sydney through there, as the Bjorn brothers swap places. I think there's Milo heading towards the pits for his stop. But yeah, I think that was a really subtle but clever thing from... Psychic Chip picks up another 3 seconds to add to his tally. Yeah, that's really clever that from Jeremy. I think he decided deliberately not to overtake Sydney and just take the slipstream, because the point is you overtake there and then Sydney's battling you into turn 1. You're losing time to those around you on a similar strategy. So he's opted. He might lose a touch down that straight, but generally speaking, he'll lose a lot less not fighting those not in his race.
Definitely. I imagine Jeremy might probably come in this lap. I'd imagine do 9 laps on the medium compound.
It depends. We saw earlier stops from earlier this race.
But they got at least to lap 8, 9. So you're gonna you should get 8 laps out of those mediums easily.
It all depends how much delta you're looking for at the end of the race. But as you continue on, everyone's just a little bit more spread out.
Yeah, he's coming in. Good run from Jeremy. Obviously, Paul just now on the charge to catch Sydney, who's also on the charge to try and catch the steps. But we've got 2.3 seconds difference.
So the final people to pit, Jeremy Clarkson, Beyond the Barrett. They come in for what should be their one and only pit stop in this race.
So you've just noticed that Owens materialised out of nowhere. He's now got P4, but with Astu only 3 tenths behind him, so...
Yes, Owen's always been there, and obviously we've just had that fight in that mid-pack. Now Psychic Chip has come into the pits, and he would have had to serve a 10-second penalty in that as well, if I remember correctly. I believe he had a speeding in the pit lane penalty, which is why he's ended up so far behind Merckx, who's also made a 2nd pit stop in this race.
Did Merckx start on the hards?
Yes, he did, yeah.
He started on the hards, yeah.
Yeah, he started on the hards, obviously came in, changed that front wing and swapped to a 2-stop strategy of going hard, medium, medium, so he should have good pace at the end of this race.
Oh, Paul. I see Owen just getting out of the way so fast, Stu. No point in fighting that.
No, and Milo and Jeremy side by side.
Sorry. Question is he going to try and get him into the final corner?
Oh, big tank slapper for Yella in the background. That's well held from the Red Bull. And pretty soon he was about 50 degrees to the road during that little tank slapper there. He's going to be under pressure from the Wolf, who's very quietly brought himself into a mid-pack fight with Yella. And Louis, we haven't mentioned Louis much, but he's there in 12th, currently occupying the last point-paying position.
To be fair though, if it finished as it was, it would actually flip between the Wolf and the obviously for the sake of on track. Yeah.
Meanwhile, battle for 4th still rages on between Astrub and Owen. Must commend Brian de Bruce as well in this. He's a lap down, but he is still going out there. He has a bit of a tough old time. I don't know whether it's just because of the circuit or just finding the feet in IRL, but very big commendations to continue on and keep driving at the moment. It's beyond a Boer, I think. Just made a double overtake on the Wolf and Yella.
Oh, there's Owen on the right hand side on the straight. So DRS. Can he get this perfect? And he has.
Good stuff from those two there. The way they're going, the way they're driving between Owen and Astrub is good stuff because they're sort of just leapfrogging each other at the moment, and that if you're leapfrogging and you're not really battling anywhere else in the circuit, it will build your time over everyone else. The two Mercedes swapping positions, Louis getting past the Wolf. Yella back in front of Bjorn as well. As you head through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. Around the outside Bjorn goes, and around the outside Bjorn does. Back up in
DRS as well.
Back up into 9th place. Neither of those two picked up DRS by the looks of it. The two Mercedes still having a little bit of a battle. And at the moment they're not teammates because Louis is not officially part of the Mercedes. He is a reserve for the night.
I think this is only the Wolf's 2nd race with us as well this season.
It is, yeah. So he's missed a couple as the Wolf.
Yeah, ARL not too far behind the Mercedes, so imagine he'll be hoping that these two get into a bit more of a fight so he can jump in and do the business early on track, as everyone likes to do. As we
Yella is really struggling with the back end of that car right now on those hard tyres. He's struggling to find grip as Ash Tube. It's almost not worth showing at the moment, Ash Tube and Owen, because what they're doing is leapfrogging each other on the strip. And at the moment, if he keeps going the way he's going, Owen's going to win that battle because there's an odd number of laps, and Ash Tube keeps overtaking on the even numbers. So
simple maths might win the day here.
It might well do. Jeremy Clarkson, I was going to say gets past Sunboy, but that's because Sunboy's come in for a second stop. It's got to be another set of mediums, hasn't it?
No, softs.
No. Soft tyres to the end, 6 laps, okay.
Fastest lap possibility on the go, I'd say, Jord.
The Wolf has come in. Well, it's all good going for fastest lap, but if you're not in the top 12, you don't get the point. I mean, you can take it off of someone else, but...
did the Wolf have a penalty, did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, he had a 10-second penalty, yeah.
Yeah, he's just serving it now. And a new set of medium boots. So...
At the front, though, is smooth sailing for the steps. It's 3.8 seconds.
Paul is taking that time down to Sydney, though.
Sydney stopped a lap earlier, so his tyres going to be slightly more warm, but not massively. Ash Tube and Owen.
About to do the mysterious switch over.
Actually, saying that, I'm going a bit wrong because the steps are so far ahead at the moment. I think he crossed the line before these two swap past times, so at the moment Owen's losing this battle because he's going to overtake Ash Tube on lap 20. Ash Tube's winning this battle, and Ash Tube's very content to keep doing this. But yeah, the steps is just that far ahead that by the time they make the overtake, he's already passed on to the next lap and it's clicked over on our counter. Yella fighting with Louis into 14, 15, 16. Oh, I see the snap of oversteer from the Red Bull. He has got next to no grip left on the rears of that car. Side by side through 17.
Very careful, yeah.
Getting close to each other. Lou getting close to the barrier into turn 1, 2. And Yellow will hold on for now.
ARL's going to be loving this. These two fighting ahead. Please keep going. Yeah, I'll just jump up and help you out, chaps.
Very aggressive little flick out from Louis, side by side down into turn 5. Switch back from Yella. It's a good switch. Oh, there's contact. Yella still having a massive moment, and he spins into the wall, and that could be potentially
a steward's issue. Maybe tomorrow, I'm not too sure, but ARL taking full effect of that. So
that's a bit of an interesting. I'm not quite sure in there. I mean, Yellow went for the switchback, which looks good, but it's almost like he slightly drifted across Louis. He wasn't quite clear of Louis.
And then the tyres just sort of did that thing where they decided to marry each other.
They just connected. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but obviously without really seeing the point of views, because our camera angle obviously from a completely different angle, would show sort of what was clear, what wasn't, and sort of the movements that happened. So that could be interesting as ARL gets up into 9th place. The big winner of all of that one. But Yella, I mean, if he may have rear wing damage, which if he does, with those rear tyres, that car's going to be absolutely evil.
That car is literally going to be like a Formula Drift car. Right, there you go. It's can't even stop for the end of the straight. Oh, there you go, that's a wall. Oh, he's out. Is that a safety car?
We have a late safety car here in Las Vegas. What on earth is going on there?
So
it's a front right wheel that's come off. No, I was just saying because as on board with the Wolf, like there was a massive tyre that was potentially yellow, still stuck in the wall, just flapping around, which is quite funny to watch.
Yeah. So he's tried to stop for the end of the straight, missed it, turned, got it in, and obviously as he's put the power down, the back end skipped to the left hand side. He's tapped that, and as he's come back over it, just full force on the front right into the wall. So But no, I genuinely believe a lot of people are going to be dipping in for soft tyres now. So, but then, do you keep position? This is the interesting one.
I mean, this is now going to cause an absolute raft of pit stops. Surely you don't stay out on hard tyres, but the steps is. Here comes Sydney. That's a huge mistake for the steps, surely. Why would you not come in?
Feel comfortable.
I mean, what the steps must be hoping for is that this safety car is about 3 laps long. And they only get 1 racing lap left.
An Abu Dhabi effect.
So that, because in that sense there will be no DRS available. It'd be all about the battery and sort of whether you can fend off the traction off the soft runners. But literally everyone's coming in. Poor Racetech's gone from mediums. He must not have had a set of softs available to him. Owen stayed out. He's now 3rd on the set of hards.
ARL's all the way up to 5th now. Obviously Ashube up to down to 6th. But obviously it's going to be a bit of a work, I suppose, for these. What's the average time around here?
Well, it's about a minute and a pole time was a minute 30 point something. So
no, but like I was about to say, but obviously it's dropping down quite massively now. Obviously with the steps behind, but I do agree with you, Joe. I think he has done a bit of a mistake there. So
the thing is, if this safety car continues round, I mean, there's a pretty hefty gap back to the likes of the Wolf here, and Mercked. Oh, the Wolf. That's not very smart. It's picking up a time penalty for track limits under the safety car. It's not normally the smartest idea. Oh
wow.
Okay,
this
is some interesting FIA stuff going on. So loads of people have pitted. Owen is in an absolute stunning position. He's in 4th, still on those hard tyres.
7 seconds to ARL.
To ARL, he's got 2 laps to survive to get himself a top 4. But the steps has now backed him up. So ARL's now going to catch up. Milo's picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. They're all trying to chase up to this pack.
And he's gone.
Steps gets going, and the question is, he's got 2 laps. He's got to survive a lap of DRS. But the Steps on hard, Sydney on softs, poor Racetech mediums, Owen in 4th. It's got ARL all over him at the moment. ARL obviously on slightly older mediums as well. Looks to the outside of Owen, can't quite do it, but here comes Sydney with the grip. This is gone. This is surely just a moment. This isn't an if, it's more of a when. A little bit of a lockout from the Steps, but he just about stays ahead of Sydney. A clip of the wall from ARL further behind. He's going to surely have to let Ashtube pass as part of his teammate instructions. Let your teammate go. He's got soft tyres.
Obviously, Paul's just going to be hanging fire on the front too. See who obviously does the issue first. Paul's going to go for a move on the left-hand side, on the outside of the corner.
Well, this is going to help the Steps as we head towards turn 12. Steps locked at that inside front again. I tell you what, I still say he's lucky because Sydney didn't really get a good drive. Something happens. Jeremy Clarkson in the background. He's had an awful turn 12. Down the strip we go between the front 3. Here comes Sydney. No DRS yet. That'll be the next lap. I mean, that could be the Steps' saving grace. Sydney round the outside is going to be tight. Wheel to wheel. Sydney picks up 3 seconds of penalty. Sydney has picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Cutting the inside of that little chicane a little bit too much. Goes down the inside of the Steps. DRS is now enabled as we head on to the final lap of this race in Las Vegas. I'd love to look at things behind, but Sydney gets a little bit out of shape coming through 2 and 3. He needs to get a gap onto the Steps here, but the Steps is going to have DRS all the way down to turn 5. This will close the gap back up.
Yeah, Clarkson just going through the field as well, to be fair. Just getting anything he can get his hands on. Question is, if you're Paul, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, you still need to overtake the Steps at the very least if you want to. If he wants to win this race.
I understand that.
The biggest question really is Sydney's time penalty contestable?
obviously that's not for us to decide. That's for lovely student team. Oh, looks like a tutor with a
I think that's
3 second
9
penalty.
seconds now for the Alpine. It's not gone well for him. Into turn 12 for the final time. Sydney leads by 1.1 seconds. He's out of DRS range. But he does have that penalty looming over him. He is going to have to go like the absolute clappers. Promise, here comes Paul Racetech. DRS will be open very shortly for him, but not for the steps. And
Yes,
there he
yeah.
goes. Paul Racetech will take that. ARL and Ashtu. ARL has stayed ahead of Ashtu, but I don't know if that's just because the two teammates have stayed that way. Owen's gone absolutely flying backwards. He's now 9th. It was a good idea from Owen, but it didn't quite pay off. But it is going to be Sydney who crosses the line first here in Las Vegas to provisionally win. But it's going to be Paul Racetech after penalties. Paul Racetech, I think this could be potentially his first win. He wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix, followed by the steps. ARL finishes 3rd in the end on the podium. A fantastic result for someone who was under the weather before this race. The Wolf has DNF'd at the end. And everyone crosses the line very, very quickly. But yeah, Paul Racetech. Sydney crosses the line first, but Paul Racetech provisionally takes his first IRL victory. At least I believe it's his first provisional. I could be completely wrong on that, but I do believe it is his first potential victory in IRL.
It is, yeah. Obviously, he's come so close the past few races, especially Bahrain when both him and Owen were leading the charge, and then the unfortunate 10-second penalties. So, but no, it's yeah. Finally call himself a IRL race winner. So yeah.
Well, provisionally for now.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one thing we probably have to stress a little bit. All the results we see are very much provisional until they are finalised by the stewards. But ARL taking driver of the day. A fantastic race from him. He's going to be absolutely well chuffed. He struggled a little bit on this game, but he is slowly getting it in a manner where it's going to be good for him.
No, obviously, driver of the day there, ARL.
Provisional results: Paul Racetech, the steps, ARL, Sydney, Ashtu, Bjorn, Owen, Sunboy, Jeremy, Milo, Merck, Louis completes here point scorers, Psychic, The Wolf, Brian, Yella, and Keza. The Wolf, Yella, Keza didn't finish, or at least didn't cross the finish line. ARL saying it didn't look good in the first stint, but nice to have that. And it's well deserved that for ARL. He's had to tinker a lot with the wheel settings, I know for a fact. He's had some solid pace, but just things haven't quite come together for him. And tonight, things have just gelled in that race, and it's good to see ARL back near the sharp end.
Oh, it's amazing. To be fair, obviously, we know him personally, and obviously, one big thing he has tried over the past few weeks, obviously, is just getting the wheel set and sorted. And as he's got through those issues, you can see him climbing and climbing up the order. So, but no, it's really good to see that. Obviously, 2 weeks on the bounce. The junior, obviously, racing bulls being on the podium, but obviously both drivers having a go. So they're really good from the pair of them, to be fair. So
yeah, absolutely. And the man from Malta, Paul Racetech, a provisional first victory. Again, someone who has probably deserved a victory many an occasion last season, finally gets this provisional win. Obviously, until it's all finalised, you can't really fully celebrate it, but you can celebrate the moment of it.
indeed, obviously, unfortunately, that's, like I said, down to our lovely student department, who will imagine will look into that if it's obviously come up. But obviously that opens at 9 a.m. tomorrow, so yeah, it just gives the drivers a couple, obviously overnight, just to consider, cool down a bit, and then yeah, go for it. But no, what a race! Um, but no, obviously next week we've got our break week, so our drivers can do a bit of R&R as such, and obviously so can we. But tomorrow we have Um, we've got our tier 2 in tomorrow. So we'll have obviously both ARL and Jack on our commentary box. So, but no, is there anything you'd like to say, George, before we go for the evening?
No, it turns out Paul Racing has actually won a race in ARL, but it was back in 2021. He's had a
The
4-year.
4 out of 10,
He's had a 4-year hiatus as Paul Race Tech. Yeah, which is good to see. But yeah, obviously we have the break week next week in terms of racing, and then the week after we return for Japan and Suzuka, which is going to be always a good race. A very old school circuit, mistakes very much punished, and I think a fan favourite circuit really, Suzuka. So, but that's in 2 weeks' time, as Mikey says. We have a break week next week. We have tier 2 tomorrow, where you get to see the likes of myself. Not Mikey, unfortunately. He's decided to go elsewhere for a day.
Personal commitments, unfortunately, but no. Obviously, you can watch the likes of quite a few of our drivers in tier 2 take on the famous Las Vegas strip. Whether they end up in the Bellagio or whether they end up in the desert is up to them.
I'll take the MGM Grand, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I watch all of Ocean's films, so a bit nostalgic in that way. But hey ho. Anyway.
But yeah, tier 2 tomorrow with Jack, ARL, potentially Bjorn as well, depending on what the space is in the lobby. That's from 8 o'clock tomorrow. Make sure you join that one. If you've enjoyed tonight's stream, don't forget to give it a like and also subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel. As always, all the races this season commentated and live streamed for everyone's entertainment, where us commentators get to talk utter nonsense over some guys racing behind a TV screen. But it's all good fun, and it's fantastic to have everyone watch every single week. And if you are new to subscribing, welcome, and make sure you turn on the notification bell to make sure you get notified of when we are going live each week for each race, so you don't ever miss a second. But for myself and Mikey, that's all we have time for tonight. Do join Jack and ARL and potentially Beyond tomorrow for tier 2. Till then, good night.